This is Cooking at Home with Crystal and Company, and today we're going to be making some beef stew. So I'm going to list off all the ingredients that we're using today. So in front of us here, I've got a big bowl. I've opened the can of corn and put a can of corn in this bowl, and then we have some peas, and then in this bowl we have some onion. I have to check it out to see what each thing that I cut. And then in this big bowl here we've got some carrots. I used a whole bag of carrots. In this bowl we've got 2 packages of mushrooms. We've got our pot of potatoes here that I've cut into bite-sized pieces. We have our cornstarch that we're going to be using to thicken it with our beef bouillon, and we're going to use about 4 cubes of it. And we've also got some tomatoes here, the can of tomatoes. I'm going to be cutting up some more onion. We've got our salt and pepper, and we've got red pepper spice here and some garlic to add. And you just add that to taste. It's basically however much you want. And
don't forget the meat.
It. Oh, there's also meat. The stewing beef. We bought 3 packages of that.
It's over here.
And it is at the other end of the counter over there. And the first thing we're going to do is wash our hands. Got some dish soap here. That's just right there. Okay. So we've done a lot of the prep to make it easier. Cut most of it up already, and I'm just gonna dry my hands. And now on the stove here we've got our frying pan. We're gonna get ready to put our meat into, and we've also got our pot here, and we're going to put our meat in the frying pan to start with.
You can bring it all right over and dump her in.
Alright. We got a lot of stewing beef. Can I pass that? Okay, and where's the other packages?
Oh, they're all mixed in together.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you can just mix them up evenly on your pan.
Alright, I did have a spoon.
It's in the pan.
Okay. Alright, so we're just going to distribute it
on medium heat.
Going to distribute the meat evenly around the pan with the spoon. Okay. So, this one?
Yep. That's it. Go right down to 6. Yeah. Okay, so tell them we don't want to cook the meat. We just want to brown it quickly.
Yeah, we're not frying it completely, just browning it to throw it in the stew.
Okay, so we'll let that brown, let the heat get to it.
Yeah.
And maybe you can chop up the onion and potato.
Okay.
Here's your knife here.
Thank you.
Okay, your potatoes here and onions beside it.
So I'm going to chop the potato into 4 thicker slices here. 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to, well, that piece is really small. I'm going to cut it into bite-sized pieces. Okay. And this one. Alright. Now I'm used to cutting stuff, so if you're not, that's alright. You just cut at your own pace. And alright. I think that's a pretty good size, eh?
Perfect.
Alright, and potatoes are in here. Okay, so I'm just putting the potato in the bowl with the other ones, and what are we going to do next?
Do your onion,
okay.
Yeah.
So for the onion, I'm going to slice it thinly to go in the stew. So I'm holding the onion with my one hand and slicing it lengthwise, and then I'm going to turn it and do it the other way so that it gets really thinly sliced. So I'm going to turn it, and is that about
That's
the size
excellent.
that you were
Yes.
doing? Okay.
Perfect.
You do have to sort of guide the knife with your fingers. It probably looks dangerous if someone looking at it, but it isn't. It's just how we cut. Alright.
And your onion bowl is right beside that.
Right there, okay. Is that a good size?
It's perfect.
Alright. Okay.
You can do that.
And almost all our onion in this bowl. Like that. And then we've got some roasted garlic here, so I'm going to slice that.
Crystal's also doing the meat at the same time.
I am trying to get this meat started, yes. And I'm going to turn on the pot of water so we can start making our bouillon so we have a nice gravy. We've got the meat on high. Oh, excellent.
Is that thin enough?
Oh, it's perfect.
Okay. And we add that to the
Right to
pan?
the meat. Yeah.
Okay. Does it need to be any smaller? Or
No,
is
you
that-
can leave it like that. It's going to go in the crock pot and cook down.
Okay. So now I'm going to take our garlic and I'm going to add it to our meat. Stewing beef that's frying. Is that all of it?
Yep, that's perfect.
Okay. And then,
Wait a minute. Let me turn this so you've got the hand on the handle. Right there.
Right.
There you go.
I'm just going to add it over like that.
Okay, I'm going to bring your spices.
Okay.
Okay, here's your, I'll hold it over the container. You take out a heaping teaspoon of your fresh roasted garlic spice.
I don't want to spill it. Okay,
Okay.
like that?
Yeah, and sprinkle it all over. All right. Next one is your roasted red pepper. You can do that one next.
So a heaping
Yep, just like that.
spoonful.
You figure we're filling up 2 crock pots.
So I'm just drizzling the red pepper spice over the top.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take the spoon and you can mix that all together. Here's your big spoon right here.
Right.
Okay, you might want to do a little shot of, one thing we forgot was the salt and pepper.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'll do the salt and pepper over top, just a sprinkle of salt. Now let's do some nice pepper as well. Okay.
Frying isn't a strong forte, but I'm getting better at it.
You're right, you are.
So,
Well,
just want to move everything around in the frying pan. Try to anyway, the meat kind of sticks.
Okay, let me stick my hand in here just
Yeah.
quickly, Ash. Stay here. I'll just get this garlic.
Just going to mix it around a bit better so it all
Just
doesn't
so
go in one spot.
Normally it would be Tyrone doing this.
Yeah, he's the fryer and I like to do the cooking and the cutting. He likes to fry up the meat.
Okay, so we're going to leave the meat. It's still on high.
Yeah.
And Ashley's got her water on boiling to do her bouillon. So Ashley, we have some cubes here. Maybe we can get 4 of those out and we'll skin them. Yeah, just take the shell off of the outside of it. And put it in that bowl and I'll get a little bit of hot water going.
Okay.
Just put them right in the bowl.
I'm going to use 4 of these.
I'm going to add probably a half a cup of hot water
Okay.
into the bowl so that these bouillon cubes can soften up a bit.
Yeah. And you can use this or the Bovril that comes in the bottle, but we had this, so that's what we're going to do. Oops.
See, as soon as the bovril hits the hot water, it starts to dissolve. You just break it up a little bit.
And one more. Been a long time since we made a beef stew.
It has.
Should be good. Perfect thing to do for the winter.
Oh yeah.
Alright, there's the last one.
Perfect.
Just gonna
That's it.
put these in the garbage.
So what we have decided to do, it's going to be a double crock pot because Ashley and Tyrone went shopping for a crowd. So what we're going to do is we're going to put everything into a roasting pan once we get it all ready.
Yeah.
Then from the roasting pan we're going to take 2 crock pots and split the roasting pan into 2.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
So what it's about right now is we're going to get this meat all browned. Oh, smell the spices.
What do you want me to do with that?
Okay, what you can do is, you got your water on, yes.
Yep.
This, we're going to let it brown a little bit more because there's so much meat in this pan.
Now what we should time the meat. How long would you say it would need to?
I would say to do it quickly, all we want it to do is just brown it.
Brown
so
it.
Should have been on high heat, 10 minutes, brown it out and into the roasting pan.
Okay.
It's just that we put all 3 packs in.
Yeah, we
So-
we didn't know for sure how much meat, and we figured we'd make a meaty stew, so we got like 3 packages of it. So we're gonna have 2 crock pots full.
That'd be great. Okay, so we're just going to let this meat finish cooking. We've got the water on for our sauce and everything we're going to put together when we come back.
Yep. Okay, and we're gonna get ready to strain this now because it's about done. So,
Okay, I'll take this over to the sink. It is a heavy pan. I'm just going to dump it into here.
yeah.
Okay. And then Ashley, I'll give this to you. I'm going to actually sit it in the pan and you can dump it into this great big roasting pan, okay?
Yeah.
So over here, there's the strainer, all the meat's in it. It's inside the hot frying pan. It's all got to be dumped into this now.
All right.
Okay, put it right into the pan. It's easier. I'll use the spoon and knock it out. You turn it off. Perfect.
There we go.
Okay, I'll take this out of the way. Okay. And I'll hand you your can of tomatoes.
Alrighty.
Open the lid a little bit. Easy, it's sharp.
All right.
Okay, there you go. So Ashley's adding a...
Big can of tomatoes, and I'm gonna pass. Can you
Right
throw
here.
that? Oh.
Okay. Now I'll hand you the stuff and you can dump it in.
All right.
Okay.
So,
We have our large thing of potatoes.
lots of potatoes.
Yep.
Don't want to make a mess.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
We've got our potatoes, our meat. I'm bringing you your carrots.
All right. Got a lot of carrots.
Yes.
Big bag of them. And I just get the baby carrots because they're the easiest to add.
Perfect.
That's a lot.
Okay.
Okay.
Now with the juices that we have in the pan,
Uh-huh.
while we're putting the rest of our stew together, I'm going to give you this pack of mushrooms.
All right.
You can throw it right into the beef pan. No, it's the beef pan. We're going to fry them
Okay.
quickly. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll turn that back on and I'll take that. So we've got our mushrooms on. We like to brown them a little before we actually add them to our stew.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that, but at the same time, they can fry. And I've got a few more things for you to put into your stew.
All right.
Okay. Here is your onion.
Add it to the end so it doesn't go
Yeah.
everywhere.
Okay.
Oh,
Clean it
wait a
out.
minute. I
There
missed
we
a couple.
go. Perfect.
All right.
Okay, so what we're going to do is just use your hands and mix that all around
Okay.
if you can. And I find it easier that way.
Yeah. So you're just mixing all the
Yeah.
carrots and everything around with your hands so that they all get mixed.
Yep, perfect.
All right. And we're going to be putting it in 2 crock pots, so.
Because there's so much, we still have corn, peas.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if it'll all fit.
Okay, I'm going to squeeze in here for a minute
Okay.
and just toss this. because we have the meat on the bottom.
Yeah.
You're going to bring some of that meat up to the top along with the tomatoes. The tomatoes is great for your base. It gives great flavor, good color.
Yeah.
Yes, we want to just spread it evenly. The tomatoes will cook right down. I just jabbed a couple spoons into it to move it around.
Do I need to do anything to the frying pan?
Okay, no, the
Mix
mushrooms, nope, the mushrooms, just leave them. We just want them to brown.
Okay.
Okay, so what we have in here now is our potatoes, our can of tomatoes, our onions, our carrots, our beet, fresh garlic, roasted garlic, and some red pepper spice,
Yeah.
with salt and pepper. Okay, so we've got that all ready. You've got your can of mushrooms on frying,
Yeah.
and our water is ready for you to add the beef bouillon.
All right.
Okay, it's right there. Yeah. Give it a stir before you, just gently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just use a little whisk to stir it. And
Yep, and you can put that right into your pot of water.
All right.
Keep it going. Handle, wait. Handle's right there. And dump that in. Perfect. Okay. So we can let that all cook now. And we don't add the peas and carrots until we get it into the crock pot.
Okay.
Because they're the softer veggies, we don't want them to go mushy.
Okay.
Okay, so now we have everything going. We'll just stir up our mushrooms. Okay, Ashley, come in here.
Yep.
There you go. And there's the handle. Okay, you just stir them around.
And then make sure none of them stick to the bottom.
Yep.
So I'm just moving them around. I'm using the spatula, so I'm just moving them around.
Oh, they're looking great.
I love mushrooms. Some people don't, but I think they're excellent. The only problem with this frying pan is that sometimes it moves. That's why I was getting Mom to give me a hand with the meat, because it tends to move a lot when you're mixing.
Oh wow, this is looking excellent. So now that we've got our beef bouillon all going just super, it's boiling over there, we're going to give it a little stir. Here's the whisk.
Right. How much does it need to be stirred?
Oh, I think it should be dissolved, and you can turn the heat on. We'll just leave the lid on your mixture because we're going to pour that right over top of our beef stew.
Okay.
Alright, I'll turn that on. Just finish these mushrooms quickly.
Can this go, is this...
Let's just have a look. We'll just leave it in the pan for a few more minutes until we're done our mushrooms, and then we'll dump the beef bouillon juice
into there?
Yeah. Okay, we need to turn the mushrooms up because we just want to fry them. So maybe what you can do, Ashley, is now you can take your salt, your pepper, your roasted red pepper and garlic. I'll hand it to you, and you can just sprinkle some on now.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you the red pepper.
So how much would you say?
I would say a teaspoon all over the top because you've already put in a tablespoon cooking it. Do you want a spoon?
You know what, maybe I'll just dump about a
Okay.
teaspoon worth.
You go right
at the
ahead.
end. Like, I'd say that's about a teaspoon.
Just sprinkle it all over.
Sprinkle it all over. Maybe a little bit more for this side.
There we go. I'll
About
take
red
that one.
pepper. Okay.
And here's your garlic.
Alright. About a teaspoon. Okay.
Excellent. Here's your salt and pepper.
Just sprinkle it all over. And then
Okay, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do some mixing of everything, adding the mushrooms into your stew now. Okay, so how about I give you this spoon?
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to dump them in, leaving the juice on them because that just adds extra flavor.
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Get that out of your way. And mix your mushrooms through.
That's a lot. I don't want to get it all over the floor.
Just keep one hand. It can be done because once they start to cook down, they're going to shrink.
Alright, so we're going to do our gravy where we're going to add some cornstarch first. I'm going to do 3 tablespoons into this bowl. So I'm just going to make sure that they're level here. There's 1. And 2. Oops, make sure it's level. Level tablespoon. And 1 more, like so. Okay. And then I'm going to get this, there's half a cup of cold water. We're going to add some cornstarch. And our cold water takes forever to run, but we'll. Alright. There's half a cup. I'm going to add this to the bowl. Okay. Now we're going to take this bowl and we're going to add it to the pot here.
Oh, wait a minute. You need to whisk it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, the whisk is right there. Just do it nice and slow and it won't go on the clothes.
All right. We're going to whisk this together. I'm not the greatest at making gravy, but it's a learning thing.
That's right.
All right.
How's it feeling?
I'm not sure. Does it look
Oh,
like
it looks like it's dissolving good. Just keep your hand on it there.
all right?
Got to kind of put some pressure
Oh.
because
right.
as soon as the cold water hits it, there now
Goes
it's
together. Okay.
Okay, so once you get that in there, then start stirring. Okay, it's all ready.
All right.
Perfect. Watch it. Okay, so Ashley's at that. I've got the whisk in there stirring right now. And you can take over. There you go. Watch it, it's hot.
So you have to stir it quickly so that it doesn't go lumpy and clump up.
Perfect.
Keep whisking it. How long would you say you need to do this?
I'd say
for?
you've let the bovril dissolve into the hot fluid. Now you've added your cornstarch and water. So it's thickening up nice. Okay, and we'll turn it off now, and that can be poured onto our roasting dish.
Okay,
Just going to make a hole in the center so it goes down into the pot.
Okay.
All right. Now, would you like me to lift that and dump it?
Sure. Is that good enough?
It is.
All right.
Excellent. I moved it right over beside you. Go ahead.
All right.
Put it right over the pot. Yep. Just into one spot. Yep. Watch the steam. Perfect.
All right.
Look at that, Ashley. Success.
It's gonna be good.
All right. I put the spoon here. You can mix this. I dig from the bottom up, like slowly because it's hot.
Okay.
I'm going to work on one end, you work on the other.
Yep, so we're just mixing it all together now.
Yeah.
Going from the bottom and
Bringing all the flavors.
to the top.
Oh, does that ever look healthy? We're not finished adding things either. We
No.
have corn and peas that will be added probably 1 hour before the stew is done.
Yep, so we're going to need to add them separately.
Yeah, so now all we have to do, it's all been mixed, is to get our 2 crock pots.
Yep.
And we'll put that into the 2 crock pots and we'll come back.
Okay, so we've taken the big pot and put it just evenly into these 2 crock pots. And now we're going to cook it for 6 hours. And what we're going to do is, well, we're going to cook it for 5 hours, and then before the last hour, we're going to add our peas and our corn to it. That way that they don't get too soggy. But before we add the peas and the corn, we're going to stir it. So we're going to cook it for 5 hours, stir it, and then add the peas and the corn, and cook it for another hour. Okay, well, it's looking good.
So we will be back with our finished product.
Okay, so our beef stew is done. We cooked it on high in the crock pot for 5 hours, and then we took it out and we stirred it, and we added our peas and corn to it, and then we put it back in on high for another hour, and now it is finished. So I am going to come over here and I'm going to try the finished product. So we have our stew here with some bread and butter, and let's see how it turned out. Excellent, really excellent. I think if you make this, you're going to love it.
Alright, well that's another episode of Cooking with Crystal and Company. Hopefully you enjoy, and we will see you next time.